In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make Bananas Foster overnight oats. You heard that right. The classic Bananas Foster dessert for breakfast with practically no sugar, unlike the dessert, and it's super easy, really fast, and delicious. Let me show you how. In today's recipe, we're using steel cut oats. Steel cut oats are the entire groat that's basically been cut through blades. So that's why you have these little pieces consistency, almost really essentially you're getting a cut grain on this with this steel cut oats. They're heartier, they have a lot of flavor, but if you are looking for a recipe to use your old-fashioned or your rolled oats, I will leave the link right below this video because the measurements are gonna be a little bit different. So the first thing we wanna do is start with the Bananas Foster part. For that, we're gonna use our stove. It comes together really quickly. And with our heat in medium, I'm just going to melt a little bit of butter. Unlike the traditional dessert, which uses probably like a whole stick, we're just using a little bit, about a tablespoon or so on our pan. And then I'm using not green bananas, but not super mushy and overly ripe that you'd use for banana bread. However, if your bananas are super green or you have a full stash of frozen bananas, heck, use those because we're gonna cook them and melt. Oh, so good. Watch. So I'm just going to slice my banana right onto my pan. And the bananas are really gonna get cooked down with cinnamon, a little bit of maple syrup. Super, super good. I'm gonna use about 1.5 bananas for this 4-serving recipe and eat the other half with peanut butter, I'm pretty sure, while you guys are not watching. We're gonna kind of cook down our bananas a little bit. To the bananas, I'm going to add some cinnamon. I'm gonna also use the vanilla. Now, if you're using frozen bananas, they're gonna have a little bit more mushy liquid, which is totally fine. Looks like your bananas are sticking, but they're really not. And you just want to cook them down until they kind of look a little bit pasty. That's where you want them. So now at the very end, I'm just gonna turn off the heat, take a little bit of maple syrup, drizzle it over the top of the banana. And now that the fire is off, we're just gonna toss the bananas, the cinnamon, the vanilla, and the maple syrup. And as you can see, it's really a great texture. All right, so that took like what, 3 minutes? No big deal. This whole recipe really comes together really fast. That's why I love to make these overnight oats ahead of time. I have an entire playlist of oat recipes if you're into oat recipes, as well as tons of breakfast recipes that you can make ahead, because at my house mornings are kind of crazy. So anything that I can help myself with in the morning by having food ready, it's always a great idea. All right, and just so you know, I'm using small lidded 8-ounce jars. You could also make this recipe and put everything, all the ingredients in a bigger container, and then in the morning serve it inside of individual bowls. Either way, totally works. In these 4 jars, I'm going to place our oats. What would be cooking without a little cleanup? Now, I also have a video on how to make overnight oats where I show you all sorts of add-ins that you can add to your oatmeal jars, your overnight oat jars, like chia seeds or hemp seeds, like other things that add a lot of nutrition. To these, I'm adding some flax meal or ground flax seed. It is optional, but I do like the fact that it absorbs liquid with the oats and it makes my cups thicker. And now, our milk. I'm using unsweetened almond milk for today's recipe, but you can use whatever milk you have at home that fits your dietary needs and preferences. So about half a cup on each jar. All the details and the recipes you can find right below this video. And now the best part is we're gonna spoon in the banana mixture into these jars. And I like to make sure that every jar has about the same amount, so that I know that I don't just feel jibbed when I eat them in the morning. The mixture is cinnamon, sweet, combined with the oats. Super, super good. So with your spoon, you just wanna kind of mix this up a little bit. Okay, so we just take our jars, we're gonna put on the lids. The thing about overnight oats is that they do need about 8 hours to absorb all the liquid. That's why they call them overnight oats. You don't have to cook them in any way. In the morning, I'm gonna show you what they look like. You could eat them cold or simply warm them up in the microwave for about 30 seconds. So all I'm gonna do is refrigerate these jars. I knew we'd be making this video today, so I made an entire batch last night, and I'm gonna show you what they look like. Okay, so these, as you can see, they're super creamy, thick. Delicious. Making overnight oat recipe videos is one of my favorite things actually on video day because I can't stop eating them. And there's like more jars. But you should definitely try this recipe. I'm gonna put all the details right below this video. And if you love simple and easy recipes, click that red subscribe button. I'm here every single week. See you next time.